Okay, so the segue is site training. Very important. We kind of touched on it a little bit, but now we're going to get in depth because both of these people, Kalade, who was in our very first CRA Academy class, April 2016, okay, he's been working at a site in Atlanta since then, and now he's training people. He's project manager, and he's training all the interns that go through their site in Atlanta, Infinite Clinical Trials, and he trains the staff as well. So, and then Monica does exactly the same thing for our sites here. You've done it for sites in Beverly Hills, Irvine, Costa Mesa, everywhere, just like Kalade is doing it in Atlanta. So we want to hear the strategies and the offerings you guys have because you train staff all the time. I haven't trained staff in years. You guys do it all the time.
That's not entirely true, but okay.
Close enough. So who wants to go first? Introduce yourselves. How did you get into research? Let's go with Kalade first, since the mic is facing you already.
Oh, okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Kalade from Atlanta. Now you didn't tell me I'm going to do this anyways.
I didn't, man. Kalithia is going to be so proud. We're going to send her the video.
All right.
Even more pressure.
Yeah, coming from the background of project management, so I was thinking, I got tired of construction industry. I was like, okay, I'm going to try something different. So somebody told me about clinical research. I was like, okay, let me try it. So I did a training, like, the first class I went to, like, more like just snapshot, no hands-on experience. I was like, this is not working for me. Yeah, I met somebody that introduced me to Dan, and then I spoke to him. He said, oh, they're starting a program, like, in the next few minutes or few weeks. I said, oh, I'm interested. So that's why I got into it. So after the program, then I came to it. So he said, oh, we should come for, like, internship 1 week. So I was like, okay. So I came with my friend Dari.
Yep.
So we came here and for about a week. So my very first trainer was, I met Chris. I told Chris, I said, I want to know this. I don't want to be pushed so that I won't get drowned. So I say, okay. Remember the regulatory?
Yeah.
I went through, was a lot, and so I kind of have some interest in there. I said, okay, let me start. Then after I finished the program, like a week, then they got in touch with my site in Georgia so that I can keep on with it. So I went over there. So I started with them. Then I started with them. I did my internship. I volunteered for about 7 months. So after some time, they told me, oh, you want to stay with us? And I said, yes. So then I find out I have so much interest in regulatory. So the monitors will come and say, oh, your regulatory looks so well arranged and everything. Somebody said, who did that? I said, oh, one of the interns. They said, oh, put him on the delegation law. Another monitor will come, oh, your regulatory is fantastic. Who did it? They said, so that's why I got the job. Then afterwards, then I started with them and they asked me, do I want to stay with them? And my site director was like, oh, since you have a certified project manager, so would you like to work with us and be like the regulatory person and the project? I said, okay. Then we started having some interns come in for the program. So now my task is to put them through. So now I started with I started with Chris and everything, then I'll put them through and everything. Then we started getting big. Like as I'm talking to you now, we have about 7 coordinators, and we have about like 3 regulatory specialists and some couple so about 15 staff.
And when we started with that site in Atlanta, Infinite, they were one of our clients. That was a startup. This was a brand new research site. So all the stuff we were talking about earlier on the other panels with hiring for potential, that's the only thing that site could afford was interns and then grooming people like Kalade, who was like, you must have been like their first intern, I think, or one of the first, right?
Yeah, with Ogechi.
Okay, that's right. That's right.
She started before me.
Yeah.
Well,
what happened to her?
Well, maybe passion wasn't there, so she wasn't doing what she had to let her go. She was actually employed before.
She was employed there?
Yeah.
Okay.
You had to let her go.
And then you came on.
I came on.
And ever since you've been training people at the site, like even right now?
Yeah, so we have a lot of have so many studies, like about 7 to 8 active studies, and some of these studies have like about 3, 3 in 1, 5 in 1, and everything, pretty much like 16, 17 studies. So like I told you, we have about seven study coordinators. So in order for me to be effectively train all these the interns, I have to be backup study coordinator in all the study. Because we have different therapeutic areas, different studies, so I have to make sure I'm very familiar with all the protocols and all the procedures. So what we do is when they come in, the first 3 things we're going to do, we have to replicate what you're doing, the IPA certification, the GCP, and their HETA before they can actually touch any of the something. Because what happened is we had a PSSB. So from the sponsor, so when the sponsor came in, so I told her, oh, we have some interns that are going to be attending as an observer. She was like, she said, how many? I said, 8. She said, okay.
8 interns observing a site selection visit.
Yes.
And the monitor was a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, she was uncomfortable. She said, oh, let me reach out to my project manager.
Go figure.
Go figure.
So she reached out to the project manager and she came back to my office and I was like, oh, are they HIPAA certified? Do they have GCP? I said, I brought out.
Oh, they asked about HIPAA?
Yeah, they asked for everything before they can actually sit. So for you to know how, we don't actually that's what I usually tell all my interns. We don't usually use them for any of our study. We actually train them to have hands-on experience on all the studies. So I'll let Monica continue.
Yeah, we're going to get back to specifics, but Monica, introduce yourself, your background, how you got started, and then what you do now.
So hi everyone. I started as recruitment thanks to patient recruitment thanks to Dan and Chris, and
thanks to Jim Parkhurst,
and actually thanks to Jim Parkhurst, and then after that I had the opportunity to do the clinical research coordinator, and then from there I learned everything. Like Daniel was saying, they pretty much trained me to be generalized, so I know how to do every single part from the site perspective.
We haven't even talked about the importance of being a generalist as opposed to a specialist.
Yeah. Huh? So that gives the opportunity, or give me the opportunity to flourish in every single area. And then you realize which ones are your strengths and your weaknesses, and then work on it. And so it's been 5 years, and I think one of the most important things, and I believe firmly in this because it was my experience, is when you train, if you have somebody in your staff that you know is a person that will be a potential really good CRC, and then when you train them, you're not only having a good employee, but building loyalty, building organizational culture within the company, and as Dr. Kevin was saying, that actually makes a business to run better and more successful, and I think the turnover rate will be much lower because you're empowering your own staff.
Yeah, we have a success story here, Paula.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, bring Paula up here.
Wants to be finally. So she started recruiting patients for us. Well, she was correct. We needed help recruiting patients. She started this week. I recommend people recruit patients. And then she got really good. We put her in the CRA Academy. She got really good. Now she works for another clinic and is running the show there. I mean, how many studies do they do?
Now they have 3, but
you're the only person.
yes.
Yeah. So how was that? How was the training with Monica helping you there?
Oh, was great because it's everything that you need to know to be able to make a very good job in the site. So in that site is, for one study is more than 72 patients. So it's plenty of people, and if you are not very well training, so.
And that side is heavy Spanish speaking.
Oh yes, of course.
I mean, to find like a bilingual, experienced coordinator in California, it's like unheard of.
Yeah.
And so like those are good when you want to recruit for the potential for a lot of the sites here. They don't just grow on trees. You gotta develop. You gotta hire for potential, right? So now you want to tell about the, well actually, because when the CRA Academy students come in to intern, you take them through the training just like Colada does. What are some specific things you do? What are some of the first things you do with a new staff member? Let's say on day one. Let's say Paula just started. Like, what did you do with her when she first started?
So when I started with her, the first things I was teaching her was, I started with the basics of regulatory, because it's pretty much when, I mean, the most important, I mean, the basic ones. It's not the most important part, but it's the basic one. So I start teaching the essentials in regulatory, and then we will start going in depth, I mean, day by day in regulatory. And then all the specifics of each study and how each study runs, like the basics, like from the pre-selection visit, the selection visit, and then how the protocol works and all the procedures, and also including marketing, because teaching your own staff how to bring patients is like having everything in just one person, and then you realize which part is the strength of each of them, and then you potentially can use that more.
Yes, you do it the right way. You and Colada do the training the right way. Unlike me, when we have new staff, when a monitor comes, we make them sit with the monitor all day, and then they learn how to pick things up from the monitor. Free training, but you guys actually do it the right way you're supposed to do it. So regulatory, to start with, the regulatory is very important. What do you do there, Colada? Like first day, the intern comes. Regulatory also, or what?
The very first thing when they come, like I told you, I make sure we have like a little quiz, like about 15 questions. Just to, they come from like an academy, from different schools, like Fast Track, send people. Yeah. 18 clinical high tech, so they send all these interns to us.
Well, you're just saying a really good one too. She's the
so
best.
we are both CRA and CRC program. For the CRC program, so most of the time I just like one of the study coordinators, you're gonna be the one to shadow this person from the from the time the subject comes in all the way to you finish the procedure. So you're gonna shadow them. We have the CRA program, which like the CRC program is pretty more like about 2 weeks program, but the CRA I tried to open it up for about 2 months. So they'll be able to witness like PSSV or SIV or IMV during their period of the internship. So the very first thing we give them like a little quiz just to see where they are in the industry. Once they understand it, they just come in.
Yeah, because you don't know what they learned.
Yes, exactly. So we have to do like an assessment and see where they are. It's just few questions. So there are some questions that I put there that I don't expect them to know. Yeah. I will tell them, and I don't when I assess when I assess the quiz, I'm not putting any marks in there. I just want to see where you are. Then we start from there. Then I'll make sure they go through they do all the certification. So after the certification, then I will give them protocol.
Okay.
So let them start reviewing protocol.
Just one study, right?
Yes. So I'll give them protocol, so like they usually come in groups. So I'll give them the protocols and say, okay, now you're coming from the academy, you're coming from the training institute. Now starting on this study, so let's see what you're doing. So we go through that. After I give them the protocol, then I will ask each one of them to come to me and present to me, what do you understand by this?
Yeah.
So that's what it is. Before we show them any...
What about SOPs, site SOPs? Do you have them do that? Yeah?
Yes. But I recently saw the SOP, the one your book. By the way, the books that just came out, you guys did a fantastic job.
Thank you.
So I've started, telling my interns that they need to have a copy.
You get one.
Yeah. But you know what? You need to do something. Like maybe your revised edition, take out, don't narrow it down just to FDA. It's global because I went through everything. Make it global.
Yeah.
Anyone can
Next
use it.
version, Chris
Yes,
is writing it.
yes. Don't just use
How about myself?
And I'm translating.
Oh, and that's funny. We're doing Spanish.
So it's a very great book. So I mean, so I'll let them. So most of the time, I will tell the interns, no, I just want to know where they are, you know, when they come in, so that we can know where to put them. So they review the protocol.
Yeah.
And so I want to see your understanding. Tell me what you understand and everything, then we go from there.
Yeah.
That's where I
I'm
take
thinking
them.
to have interns now that after I heard Amir talk about SEO, just writing articles in addition to all the stuff you guys mentioned.
Yeah, that's a
Because
good.
there is a lot of downtime when there's a new intern, especially when you get busier, when you get busy. They're just sitting there reading the protocol. You can have them do like a blog post. Hey, write a blog post or post an ad on Craigslist. I mean, there's a lot of things they can do. This thing's really interesting me with this physician recruiter. That's another angle that's just I can't stop thinking about. So yeah, there's a lot we can do with the interns. Do you recommend every site take on interns or no? Does the good outweigh the bad?
Say again.
Are the interns helpful at your site?
That's exactly what I'm telling you. Most of the time when they come in, we find out we don't put them to tasks like that. We actually train them. Because when I give them the false protocol, most of the time by the time I do assessment, they don't have clear understanding. I give them the second one. They become more comfortable. I give them the third one. So now, oh, this is what it's all about. So most of the times, after that, then I'll give them the subject chart. Okay, what you read in this protocol, this is what it's talking about. So we go from there. And like you say, you know, you have to assess them and see where each one of them.
Now, are they signing CDAs for the site, or how do
They do.
There's a lot of sites.
Yes,
are
that's the very first thing, CDA and business agreement.
Yeah, please.
So the business agreement says that, you know, what you are doing here is an internship. We are not paying you. So don't come to me for W-2. I don't have it. So it's business agreement. So
They will ask you for that.
Yeah, sometimes when they, you know, yeah, so I let them know that
Yeah.
you have internship experience and volunteer experience, not paid experience.
Yeah, and not to keep, you know, and we'll get to your question right now, not to keep promoting Creo, but thank you very much for sponsoring. What I like about Creo is you can give external access. So it's like the same access you give to a monitor, you can give to your interns, and then monitors or sponsors can't see anything that they're doing. They don't even see that those people have access. They're just internal auditors that you have. So that's one of my favorite things about Creo. When we have interns, after they sign the CDAs and everything, I say, okay, you're supposed to learn how to do SDB. Okay, well, here's our e-source, here's your access. Nobody sees who they are. I can revoke access anytime. So that's another really good thing about Creo, is you can have the interns learn on a real study without actually making any, you know, they can't actually do anything to the study to make you look
They
bad.
can change the data.
Even if they write like a million sticky notes, nobody's going to see it except the site. The monitor will not see it. So that's one of my favorite things. So what do we have now? CRC Academy? This is
Yes,
all you.
that's actually a solution that we have now for the new clinics. That if you guys have already staff that you think are valuable for your organization, and then you don't have the experience or you don't have the time to train them, send it to us, because now we're opening in November. It's going to be the launch of our CRC
very
Academy.
first, yeah, CRC Academy.
And yeah, sometimes
Online, completely online.
yeah, it will be for 12 weeks.
3 months. 3 months.
Yeah, 3 months
So if
training.
you hire a research naive, you want, you know, it's $2,000 for 3 months training. They can still work at your site or intern at your site while they're taking our program. And then we have a final exam at the end. So we let you know if you're the employer what they scored, whether they passed or failed.
And then you're building loyalty and a good employee. That is not when the turnover, as I was mentioning, the turnover rate is going to be lower because you're empowering your own team.
Sorry, question.
If you can assemble a group of students that are interested, would you be able to get a group discount if it was, say, 5 or more?
Yeah, we'll work on that.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yes, and if they want, I mean, because some of these students don't have bachelors, but they want to get into research, this is an opportunity also to do so. And like I was saying, empowering them with knowledge, good knowledge.
Keep your employees. It costs a lot of money to have to keep hiring, new coordinators. We're going to talk to a recruiter next, with the IRB person next. Everyone on the same panel next.
Sure.
I mean, you'll see how expensive it is to hire them, right? So grooming them internally is the best way sometimes. Most times for the sites in this room. Thank you guys.
Thank you.